Alright, so I've lost my job at YouTube. I established this on Bro yesterday, and today I would like to talk about what is next. Struggle, really. Like, pretty intense struggle. Desperation. You know, the typical stuff that happens when you get fired and you don't have unemployment. That's the life of a YouTuber, right? People will say that I was totally foolish when I didn't have my eggs in other baskets. I did kind of, but not to the extent that I could have. So the purpose of today's video is to tell you guys exactly what happens next. But more importantly, how you can continue seeing my content and how we can continue interacting with each other on an amazing level, in the sense that we go places together. We talk about body image on this channel. We talk about cutting. We talk about depression. We talk about really raw, meaningful things on Onision Speaks. And I don't know how many people have said that I've helped them, but it has to be in the thousands by now. Has to be. No doubt in my mind. I've been doing this for about 10 years. So the fact that I've been able to positively influence so many people this long is awesome. And I know a lot of people will say, you know, there's negative influences, etc. Well, that's part of what makes what I'm talking about now so exciting. I am taking part in the Patreon option. There's a link in the description where you can actually sign up to see my videos early now. See it a day early. And some of those videos aren't going to make it as they are to YouTube because they won't fit YouTube's guidelines, in the sense that YouTube is very strict. I talked to Johnny Gilbert today. I talked to, well, my significant other talked to Shane Dawson. And we've been just basically interacting with a lot of YouTubers regarding this issue and trying to find out, you know, whether or not everyone else is having the same experience that we are. Are they also fired from YouTube? And it seems like 9 out of 10 people have experienced a 9/10 drop in their income. And as a lot of you understand, if you have a job that pays you $10 an hour, and then they suddenly say they're going to pay you $1 an hour, you might freak out a little bit. So that's what's going on here. I contacted YouTube, and YouTube gave me another generic email response. I said, hey, I've made you guys like multiple millions of dollars. So could you please give me the decency of not giving me an automated response? Actually acknowledge that I've invested 10 years of my life in you, and that right now I'm making almost nothing on these videos that I've put so much effort into. Anyway, so I started this page on this other site where only fans will essentially be there, because why would a person who doesn't like me pay me monthly to make more videos, right? So you can say I want to contribute $1. You can say I can contribute $5 or more. There's certain benefits to each level, and that's awesome. It's awesome in the sense that I don't have to follow any rules anymore. I don't have to worry about whether or not my video is going to get flagged or whether it's going to get demonetized. I could actually be my true self on this new site. But like I said, some videos that are on there won't wind up on YouTube 100% as they are, because I do have to censor myself for this. And like, as I was talking to Johnny Gilbert today, he said that he's worried about whether or not he can cuss in future videos. His girlfriend, Alex, she has also been dramatically hit, and Alex is totally appropriate in her videos as far as I know. So like, it's just really difficult to understand what's going through YouTube's mind, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be abandoning ship very soon if YouTube doesn't change their behavior, and I already am reaching out to survive. I am selling, my wife is selling our clothes on Poshmark. My wife has been doing this for a while now, and that's part of our income. It goes directly to my wife, but it helps the household, because if I fail, then there my wife is to help. I'm also selling MP3s on iTunes. I'm also selling shirts, which I haven't sold for profit for years, but now I have to sell it for profit because I have no choice in order to save my assets, not have to downgrade my entire life and lose so much of what I've earned, or almost earned. Anyway, so this is a video essentially to let you guys know what's up, to let you guys know that this isn't just a war on Onision. This is an assault on Shane Dawson. It's an assault on me. It's an assault on some of your favorite YouTubers who may be iDubbbz, Filthy Frank, those other people. And if you support those people, you should probably be upset about this. Regardless, I just want to thank you guys, even the people who can't contribute, who can't buy things from me, who can't sign up to Patreon. I want to thank you for being a viewer this long and for supporting me this long. I wouldn't be much of anything to much of anyone if I didn't have supporters like you guys. So that's pretty hard to deny. Yes, I made entertaining videos which attracted you here. I said something that interested you or did something that made you want to watch. But that doesn't mean that you didn't come back again and again by choice. You could have ignored me. You could have moved on, but you didn't. And I just want to thank you guys. This whole experience has obviously made me quite humble, and you know, maybe I deserve it. I deserve to be a little more human. But yeah, so all the links are in the description. I put those there so you guys could help me survive. And there's a lot of cool things that I'm going to be doing for you guys as a thank you for you helping me. But yeah, this is chaos, and this is insane. But, you know, life is hard sometimes. Stuff happens. So you just got to deal with it. And here's the thing. Statistically, when people lose jobs, the rates of them offing themselves increases. I just want to point that out to YouTube. Yes, there was a 0.0001% chance of an ad being played on an actually inappropriate video, but there's a much higher chance that some YouTubers are going to off themselves from losing YouTube. You know how creative people are. You know how we artsy people are. We're very emotional. We're very, a lot of times, not so stable. Just look at any tabloid. People who are creative tend to be irrational as far as emotions go. We tend to be a little bit more in tune. And if you have more power going to your emotions than you do to your rational side, statistically, it seems there's a greater chance that YouTube may have pushed some people over the edge with this recent transition. So YouTube, you may think you're doing the right thing by pulling ads on people you consider controversial, but these same individuals may have had YouTube as the only reason that they're alive. I didn't off myself November 14th, 2007, because I chose to live on for someone who was counting on me, and also for the sake of expressing myself to others and having YouTube as something I do for a living, as something that I could really feel there was meaning in doing. If you took that away from me when I had that gun to my head, I don't know what would happen. I don't know if I could convince myself to go on. Now I have people counting on me, so that's not a choice. Offing myself is not a choice. But I've spoken to another YouTuber who said that they were in the same situation I was back then. That YouTube gave them the will to live on. And we already know that suicide rates increase when you remove people's employment. Mix that with something that gives people such a powerful sense of meaning, such as YouTube and connecting with people. I don't think pleasing a few advertisers is worth this. You know, especially when those advertisers weren't even necessarily being hurt until some guy came along and pointed out something that was actually totally stupid and irrelevant. And what they pointed out was that sometimes ads go on racy content. Big deal. Very, very, according to Google's own statements, incredibly rare and insignificant. But now we're going to remove the employment of a bunch of people who are creative. They use the creative side of their minds more than the other side. we're going to remove their job. It just isn't worth it. But that's not the point of this video. So we're going to be talking about a lot more meaningful things on my Patreon. We're going to do comedy sketches. We're going to do music videos. I'm going to pour my heart and soul into my videos, just like I was doing in 2011, 2010, 2009. I'm hungry again because I'm being starved. So thank you for you guys doing all you can to support what's going on right now in my life. Even if you don't have money, I appreciate you at least just, if you're religious, praying for me. That's great. Statistically, prayers don't work, but thank you. Just thank you for sending your good thoughts. All right, I've spoken enough. Hope you have a wonderful day. And you know what? Screw the ads. Poop squeeze.